All right, here we go, guys. Let's take a look at wheat futures. These are the December 2021 contracts. For those that want to know, the symbol is /ZW. Okay. There's also mini wheats, the frosted mini wheats, /XW. Okay. When I trade the wheat futures, I tend to trade the E mini instead of the big contract. So you can trade those too. Okay. Very, very nice. Now take a look at this action, guys, over here to the upper far right hand corner. Look at this. Wheat's been coming down 4 straight days in a row. All right, we even had some signals back here that said, be careful. Looks like we might have some price decline, right? Yeah. Even on that day right there, we had some warnings going on with price divergence. That's what those two little white dots are, and the white dots down here. So sure enough, we had a little heads up that there was going to be there was price divergence going on. And usually, almost always, when we see price divergence, most of the time we get a price decline soon thereafter. At the very bottom, looking at the amplitude percent indicator, which is an indicator I created recently, color coded in the daily here, got red hot. That simply means the distance between the candlestick and the 50 was getting kind of wide. Sure enough, we had a pullback. Okay. Now, looking at the cycles here, for those who don't understand or don't know about cycles, this is a cycle right here. Okay. And usually you see a price low, price come down in those cycles, cycle lows, where the two cycles meet. This one's a little bit early, obviously. So pretty good going back quite a ways. Most of the cycles are hitting on. Even on this one that was a really strong upward trend going on, it still stalled at the cycle low. So that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. So the cycles help us understand when either price is going to stall, especially if you have really strong upward momentum going on, then price will just stall rather than come down. Okay. If you don't have really strong upward momentum and price is just kind of tracking sideways or it's just kind of weak, then you can expect price decline into those cycles though to be greater. Okay, here we had a pretty significant price decline. Okay, it was pretty sharp. Amplitude percent indicator said, wow, we're getting kind of hot. And sure enough, we're getting a price decline coming down into, this expected low, which is pretty much across almost all commodities. We're seeing an approximate low somewhere between like 11.16 and 11.24, which maybe it's more like over here. Okay, this cycle low could probably move over a little bit to the right, but just be aware that most of these commodities are showing, and futures are showing price decline somewhere between like the 16th and the 24th of November. Okay, when we're talking about wheat futures specifically, well, we've had a pretty significant price decline already. I mean, from 807 all the way down to 676. That's huge. Now, I talked about an ascending triangle, back last week. I thought somewhere, I think it was last week, the price would break out above, and it did. It broke out really hard. I still think that wheat is possibly good for 828 moving forward, but not in the immediate future. I think that might be going into January, okay? So for now, we're going to see if this price decline doesn't come down and touch the 50, which, remember the 50 is coming up and price is coming down. Right now, the 50 is at 733, let's call it, but it'll probably continue to rise up, right? It might cool off a little bit, but it'll continue to rise. So we'll see where these two meet. They might meet at like the 750 area, maybe 755. Okay, and remember, it might not come all the way down and touch it. Okay, you can already see on the Big Daddy, we've had, like I said, we've had the warnings, and Big Daddy's come down all the way down to its bottom line, but the SMI hasn't quite got down there yet. Okay, and the MACD, which is a slower indicator, you can see how it oscillates kind of slow, and that's good. We like to see it. Okay, maybe something like that. Return to the zero line way out here. Okay, we'll see how fast it comes down. If you took a guess, it'd be somewhere over in there, right? Be like somewhere, middle, like third week, fourth week of November, which sounds about right? It's lining up with the cycle low. Okay, it all makes sense. This kind of oscillation we're seeing here, it's kind of lining up with this cycle low. That's going to be somewhere like maybe right in there, Okay, like I said, this cycle that I got right here, these cycles could probably push a little bit over to the right, but for now we'll just keep it right there and watch what this thing does. Okay. So that's the daily. Let's switch over to the monthly. So I always like to look at different time frames, guys. Really important to look at different time frames. Okay. Yeah, wheat's been on fire all the way since like, wow, middle of 2019. Just been coming up, trading well above the 50-month moving average. Okay, just trading well above it. Still looks pretty strong. You can see back here in early 2021, there was some price divergence indications going on. Sure enough, it showed up in this candlestick right here. That was May. So pretty good stuff. These little indicators are working really good. They're really showing us. Look way back here, guys, just as a quick little side note. Late 2007. Okay? They showed up right here. You know, within like 3 or 4 months, ba-bam. All-time high on wheat, probably. Right? Look at what showed up over here, too. And kind of like the middle of 2012, maybe latest second half of 2012. It showed up right here. Look at that, guys. Right on time. Boom, boom. If you wanted to know, if you wanted some accuracy, that was it right there. Bam, bam. And they showed up right on time. And wapo. Slam. Okay? Huge. Pretty significant. Okay, so we saw that here. And then see, when did this one show up? This one showed up back in July. Wow, okay. Lots of action going on here. Haven't seen one on the Big Daddy, but we saw lots of stuff up through July. Very interesting. And we are kind of far removed. So we'll keep an eye on the monthly. So far, though, the monthly looks strong, but it could be running out of gas, guys. You know, there's not many times it's gotten higher than that. Right? That SMI hasn't gotten much higher. Right now it's at 53. And let's leave back here. It got really high back there. Of course, that's all-time high in 78. This one got as high as 66. This one got as high as 61. And we are at 53. So there's room for this to still go up on the monthly. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on the monthly. Right now, it looks like to me, there's still room to go on the monthly. Let's check the weekly. Okay, on the weekly, we're getting a little signal here saying, be careful. Showed up right just in this first week of November, guys. Now, this week is just ended today. So look at that. We got this indication right here, yellow. And that means there's been a 12-week divergence. Okay? So somewhere along the line, there's been this 12-week divergence going on. Okay? So we've got to keep an eye on that. Maybe from way back here, possibly. Yeah. Something, maybe that's more than 12 weeks. So we'll have to go back and look and see. When I get some time, I'll go back and look. But there's a little bit something going on here. Okay, so we want to be careful here. Yep, the SMI is not super elevated, but the distance between the candlestick and the 50 is getting kind of lengthy here. It's a little bit of height going on. Okay, and you can see the Big Daddy is already looking like it wants to roll over a little bit, and so the SMI also starting to get a little bit toppy, wants to roll over. So, you know, be aware that right now on the weekly, we have a 50-week moving average of 677. We could see a pullback here for a few weeks, possibly coming up. Okay, if that's the case, once again, we know the 50 is rising. Okay, if we just ballpark this one was quite long. Back here, 3, 7, maybe 8 or 9 week pullback. This one was smaller, about 4 or 5. Okay, even if it's somewhere in the middle, like a 6-week pullback. Okay, you know, you just kind of ballparking this thing, something like this, right, guys? Okay, I don't know exactly, just kind of throwing it out there. Some of the candlesticks will be bigger than others, so who knows? Maybe we get in this. Maybe we get down to like 720. Okay, so just be aware over the next few weeks, we could pull back, you know, somewhere in the below the 750 area. Possible, right? Okay, let's go over to the hourly. See what's going on there? Wow. So going all the way back over here to like, let's see, 1, 2 Fridays ago, way back over here. You can see that the wheat on the hourly chart was staying above the 50. Broke below going into Tuesday. Not this Tuesday past, but 2 Tuesdays past. Say that 3 times real fast, 2 Tuesdays. And then you come up, broke above it on Wednesday, and stayed above it for quite a while, from Wednesday all the way to the next Tuesday. Wow. So almost a full week. Okay, very strong in there, obviously. And you the MACD just telling us the business, right? That's why you want to pay attention to different time frames so you can go on this very short time frame, 1 hour chart. Don't forget, guys, we're talking 1 hour here. Now we've come all the way down. And we're well below the zero line. That's important to understand that we're well below the zero line on the MACD. Okay? Yeah, okay. So last time we got below the zero line, got down over here, and then we had a real strength going on. Boom, oscillating, but going up on the average. See how so you got the MACD shows strength over this entire time, and the SMI, which is a faster oscillating indicator, it worked up on the average. Look at the lows here. The lows kept getting higher and higher and higher, right? Highs get higher, higher. A little dip right there, higher, but on the average, they just kept getting higher. Okay, that's really important to understand how the different indicators and different time frames are going to help you pick out, and give you a little bit of a heads up about where price is headed. Okay, so now we're pretty far down here on the MACD. We're really negative. Okay, and we may even see red show up on this amplitude if it gets much lower, because remember, it's just distance away. So whether we get way below the 50 hour in this case, or well above the 50, if we get too far above or below, that amplitude indicator will start to turn color. See how it turned yellow over here? I don't have any red on here because lately it doesn't stay below the 50 hour for very long. Okay, so maybe short term, maybe we might see some price come up very short term and get a little bounce up here. Okay, but just remember, when we looked at that weekly chart, guys and gals, that it looks like wheat wants to pull back. So, for me, I'd be really careful about wheat over the next few weeks. It looks like it wants to pull back. So hourly, there might be a little bit of love in there on the long side, but be careful, okay? Okay, one last look at on the daily, and we're going to finish up this video. Yep, working down. Whoops, got the eraser in my hand, wrong thing. Looking down. Okay, if we just were to kind of ballpark this, if it were to do that, something around in there. Yep, 750. Remember I said even on the weekly, guys, I said somewhere around 750. Makes sense to me. I could see wheat coming down into the 750s, guys and gals. That's probably my best guess of what I think is going to happen. Just looking at everything here. Got some things going on here talking to us about be a little careful. Okay. I think long run, really long run, going into January, we'll keep an eye on the longer. I still think 828 is possible. But for short term, guys, next few weeks, watch out for 750 area in wheat. Okay, guys and gals, that's it for wheat futures for today. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys and gals. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It helps out a lot. And click that little bell. You'll be notified of all the videos I put them out. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Happy trading, everybody. Talk to you real soon. Again, next time.